in conference play and 9-6 overall. And we're here now with Coach Vinay Patel, and Coach, team survives and gets a third straight win today.
Survive is a great way to put it. I thought we tried to do everything to give that one away down the stretch, but I give Wayland Baptist all the credit. They came in here and took it to us. They pushed us around. They were very physical with us at times, and you could tell by the reaction of some of the players that we have that they didn't like their physicality, which is frustrating for me because usually that's something I brag about our team. So I give them all the credit. Coach Harrelson does a great job with his bunch, and they're going to get a lot of games this next half of league play for them.
I want to talk about two guys who made significant contributions tonight and have just been building up recently. Jordan Mason gets the start. He scores 7 points in the first half, ends up with 9 points and 3 rebounds. He seems to be gaining confidence as we go along, but not as much as Romello Chapman does. That guy's really starting to come along with his confidence. Scored 6 points today and played a lot of significant minutes because of foul trouble today.
Yeah, you know, Noel Allen picked up 2 fouls because our transition defense was so poor in 2 instances that he was the only one back and had to make those fouls. So he really took 2 of his 5 for the team, you know, and I feel bad for him because he should have played a lot more if those guys would have been doing their jobs. But Jordan's getting better every game. He's really figuring out what we're asking of him. He needs to figure out shot selection a little bit better, and I think that's what's kept him from being as good a player as he can be. Because he hadn't been shooting the ball that well from the perimeter, but when he gets to the basket and when he's shooting his pull-up off the dribble, he can be really good for us. And Romello, you know, he same thing with him. You know, he's kind of figured it out these last few games. He can give us an edge defensively. You know, he missed a huge rebound late, but you know, that doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, you know, he played a really good game, I thought. You know, a really good game, and he's coming along really well along with Jordan. I'm proud of both of those guys.
It's too bad that Noel picked up those fouls so quickly. He only played 7 minutes, but he was extremely effective when he was on the floor, and so you would have certainly liked to have him on the floor more often because of how effective he was being. But Dorian also, another double-double for him, another big rebounding game for Dorian. Had 15 boards today, go along with 10 points. So that's your post-production right there from Dorian today.
You know, Dorian's better, I think, every game, and I'm asking a lot from him personally, and I think you can tell just by the minutes he played. He played 37 minutes of a 40-minute game, and I'm asking him to play through fatigue and execute when he's really tired, which, you know, he's in a position that he hasn't been in before in his collegiate career. That's just, you know, because of the depth that we have at that position, you know, in the post, which is not very deep. But he is doing extremely well, you know, playing those many minutes and playing his tail off, and that's why you see, you know, every game he has so many rebounds as he just goes and gets it even when he's tired. You know, it was a little bit frustrating down the stretch, and that's my fault. I probably did play him too many minutes because he had some very critical errors turning over the basketball late, and that's probably more my fault of playing him so much. But you know, with Noel in foul trouble and things like that, it's just hard to take him off the floor because I rely on him so heavily.
Speaking of efficiency, Lou Dunbar's your leading scorer today, 17 points in 17 minutes. He goes 4 of 4 on threes, makes some critical foul shots down the stretch. And, you know, you mentioned before the game that you like bringing Lou off the bench because he's instant offense off the bench, and he did that for you today.
Yeah, you know, he can really shoot the basketball, and I think he's really starting to figure out shot selection, what shots come within the offense, what shots we can get, you know, when people are zoning us. And when he's taking good shots, I always think the basketball's going in. He is a phenomenal shooter. You know, we're asking him to be a little bit better of a defender so we can leave him in the game down the stretch. You know, and I asked him after the last game, the previous game that we played against USAO, you know, we're having to substitute offense for defense. You know, I'd like for you to pick your defense up so we didn't have to do that and we could leave you in the game more. And he's working really hard to get better at that. He had a critical error in press while they were pressing us, throwing him in the middle of the floor late. But that seemed to be every guard I put in the game had those mistakes late. So we've got to fix that in a hurry as we get ready for this next game against John Brown.
You've gone through the first round of conference play, seen everybody. Now we're going to go back and see some repeat opponents. And you talked about John Brown. That's the next one up. We travel to Siloam Springs on Saturday. Obviously, John Brown got the win here earlier in the year. What do they do that was able to create their advantage this time, and what are you going to do to combat that next time?
Well, they completely manhandled us in here. I can remember the game. I was glancing at it a little bit this afternoon before we played today. They were very physical with us. They shoot the basketball extremely well. You know, we couldn't hold Meyer in check, one of their second leading scorer now. He had 22 on us, I believe, and we just didn't do a good enough job with our defensive assignments. They hit some big shots, They shot phenomenal from the three against us, but they were very efficient. They didn't take a ton. I believe they were like 10 of 16 from the three against us. And we need to do a better job of just defending them in the half court. I think we did a poor job of that. They shot probably 50% from the field from us, but they took some high percentage shots and made them. That's going to be a very difficult game on the road, but it's one I know our guys would like to get back after getting beat here in our own gym against them.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. A 70-67 win over Wayland Baptist. Stars move to 6-3 in conference play with this win. OCU